Genuinely like to know, single men, why you don't pursue anymore? What's up?
But I'm like, what's up with men? I don't know. I wanted to ask you, like, men don't come up and ask or talk to you anymore, or maybe it's just a me thing. Maybe I'm like shaking too much ass, like it's too intimidating to try to approach. But like, there was this cute guy, tall, nicely dressed, who was with a bachelor party, and the groom of that bachelor party came up to our group, talked to our bride, and was like, "Oh, you guys, like, I'm getting married too. Like, my friend will buy you guys around if you want." It was like, "Oh, how fun!" Because it's so bachelorette culture there. And there's the guy that was going to buy the round. He was like cute, well dressed. He was tall. They were just like dancing, right? And he went to the bar at one point. So I was like, oh, let me go to the bar too. So I like saddled up next to him at the bar and kind of like gave like a look. And he looked right at me and then like looked away. As we left, I was like, okay, well, never mind. Like I was seeing something that apparently wasn't actually happening. Like I thought maybe he
Right,
had been
right.
looking at me or not. And as we left, one of the other bachelorettes on this trip was like, oh my gosh, that guy kept looking at you. Did you guys talk? I was like, wait, what? You saw it too? This guy kept looking at me, like kept trying to like look at me or like interact with me. But then I busted open the door to interact with me. I saddled up to the bar next to him when he was away from his friends and alone and ordering a drink. And I like made myself, I'm like, what else can you do? Like, granted, I guess I could have said, hi, how are you? I don't know why I didn't, but I guess I was like, I made that move, like, meet me the other like 75% of the way or whatever it is, you know? So that was like really frustrating. I was like, wait, what's up?
Some just want an ego boost, not a real connection. Approach someone and suddenly it's a test, only to get rejected on purpose. Men are done playing games and done risking embarrassment. When chasing feels like a trap, it's no wonder men are stepping back.
Little piece of advice for the guys. If you see a girl around the bar or out in public and you have interest in her, go up to her. Say hi. Introduce yourself. Not in a creepy way, just in a normal way to get to know somebody. Because I can tell you right now, every single time I've gone out with a girlfriend to go hang out, not a single guy has ever approached me. Well, I take that back. I had like one 70-year-old guy who was like crazy old and drunk and smelled like weed and all that stuff. But normal people, guys, where are y'all? Like, where y'all at? Like, it's not that hard to say hi and start a conversation. I promise you. There's girls like me who do not want a roster. We just want to get to know somebody, hang out, and if a connection happens, great. And if not, oh well. It will happen when it happens. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Like, am I unapproachable? Like, what am I doing? I don't get it.
Men don't really approach women that much anymore for a lot of different reasons, I think. But personally, I want to be approached. I would love to meet someone in real life versus online. And as long as it's a respectful approach, I'm always going to be nice. Even if I'm not interested, I'm never going to be rude to the guy. But I think as women, we have to give a signal that we are interested before most men will feel like it's okay to like actually approach you. Personally, I'm not going to approach a man. That's not me, but I will make it clear that I'm interested. I will pretty much give him an open invitation to approach me through eye contact, smiling at him, physically like getting closer to him in whatever vicinity that we're in. And if he doesn't take that invitation, then I would just assume he's taken or he doesn't have the confidence to come up to me, which just means he's not for me. I'm gonna try harder to meet people in real life.
Years of feminism told men to step back, stop chasing, and let women do it all. Well, men listened. You can't shout, "I don't need a man," for decades, then suddenly wonder where all the men went. Actions have consequences.
Guys not making a move anymore is so frustrating because the amount of times that I've heard so and so has liked you before, like at this time. I didn't know if you felt the same way, so he never said anything to you. I've been getting that a lot recently, and I can't stop thinking, what if, bro? So guys, can you make a move again? Can we stop being afraid and just make a gesture? I'm never gonna make a move.
I asked a bunch of girls, when was the last time a man approached you at a bar and started talking to you? And I thought this was just me thing, but they were all like, no, it hasn't happened in, I can't even tell you how long, like before COVID. And I thought that was a me experience. I was like, okay, maybe I give off like a standoffish vibe. I don't know. I don't think so. But no, they all agreed. They're like, I can't tell you the last time a man tried to talk to me at a bar. A man tried to offer to buy me a drink. Do men still do that? Men, can you weigh in? And I don't even need the drink, but like the last time, and I'll go up and talk to guys, but like can someone explain?
The art of chasing does not exist anymore. The art of proper courting a woman does not exist anymore.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I just want to feel
Like
desired.
a girl, feminine. I want to feel like
wanna
the
feel
feminine
like-
energy, not the masculine energy.
And I'll tell you this. I want to feel like if he has me, his eyes aren't wandering, if there's something better. I want him to be like, whoa, you are it. That's fucking amazing. And that's it. I just want to, you know what I want? My type of guy, call me back. That's all I want.
No, wait, they call you back.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
but
here's
come on.
I'm actually writing a book about a lot of the things that you just said. And the energy I think to give off to get that, because it is rare, but
Yes.
it's out there, is you are lucky to be in my presence. I still we've known each other since we were 12, give off that energy. Like
Whoa.
if you go away from me, like you don't get access to this.
Yes.
You don't get access to this personality. You don't get access to these boobs. You don't get access to this
No,
witty,
it's
funny,
true.
charming personality. They should be so lucky.
Men are born hunter-gatherers. They are literally the lion looking for prey. And if you're just the gazelle that walks into his mouth, he's not going to want it because he didn't have to work for it. He didn't have to try for it. There's no effort that he had to put in. And I want to be a sprinting gazelle. I don't want to walk
And this
right
is the
in
thing.
there.
I have to say that Sistine and I were very masculine in our careers. So we're very much someone that loves to be go-getters. We're love to plan things. We are the loudest usually in the room with our friends. We have the most jokes. We like to just hold an audience. But when it comes to a relationship, we want that to be taken away from us and have a guy be in
true.
control. And so I think that's been the hardest part is a lot of these guys that we go on dates with, they forget the balance and the dynamic and they kind of give it to us. And unfortunately, it's easy for us to take it.
Average women now think they deserve model treatment. Social media filled their heads with filters and attention, and now regular guys don't even stand a chance. If you're not 6 feet tall with a high income, you're invisible. And people wonder why men gave up.
Guys do not approach you at the bar not because you're not pretty, but it's because of this. I've been going to the bars every weekend with my friends, maybe for the past couple months, and I love it. I love socializing, and I'm single. And my friend and I were talking at the bar the other weekend, and we were talking about how we've never been approached by a single guy before. Like, maybe ever, which is just insane to think about. Like, I can name a couple occurrences where they have, but it was like, people from Europe, and they're like a different breed of people, okay? So I feel like the culture in America is way different. Guys do not want to approach you, not because of how pretty you are or how you look, but it's really because they're scared of you. And then us women over here who are single are thinking like, we look amazing, we did our makeup, we chose the perfect outfit. Why aren't all these guys coming up to us? Even if we're not into them, why don't they just come up just to like make us feel good about ourselves? Okay, now I want you to think of the perspective of a guy. I'll never know what's in a man's head, but I have a pretty good idea from like my guy friends and going out a lot. Guys are intimidated by you, okay? They don't all have that courage or charisma or just bravery to go up to you like you have to somebody else. And on top of just being intimidated by going up to a stranger in general, you're probably surrounded by a big group of friends. And even worse if you're surrounded by your guy friends, because they're gonna assume that you're dating one of them, and no one wants to go up to a girl who's surrounded by a bunch of guys, okay? It's just a cock block. So now you're probably thinking, okay, we have this information, but what do we do with it? First off, I don't really think bars are the best place to really find a relationship. It's great to meet people, have fun, really get to know other people. But if you're putting all your eggs in one basket and really putting so much pressure on finding a guy that will take you seriously, that's going to be very hard. The other thing is that we always make fun of dating apps a lot, but I think the percentage is something like 60% of people now meet their significant other on the internet. Because people don't go up to other people anymore because they know they can meet you on a dating app. It's so much easier. This past Saturday, I literally went up to a group of guys and was like, do you want to play cards? I wasn't attracted to any of them, but I'm so happy I did it because I made a new group of friends and it was so much fun. And initially I thought that they weren't that fun. Like, they just seemed like they were like moping around. They all had RBFs, like whatever, and I went up to them and they ended up being the funniest group of guys ever. And I'm sure a lot of guys think of you that way too. You might have like an RBF or just you don't seem approachable. But little do they know how you really are. So the takeaway from this video is that guys not coming up to you out in public says nothing about you. You can literally be like Gigi Hadid and a guy's still not going to come up to you. Guys are intimidated, and it takes so much courage to go up to a girl. And a lot of guys are cheap and just don't want to buy you a drink, and they're scared of getting used for a drink, which kind of sucks, but I understand. So do not weigh your worth and whether or not people come up to you, because you are probably way more stunning and people are probably way more attracted to you than you think they are.
You said don't chase, but then wonder why men aren't approaching. Men are tired of guessing games, mixed signals, and fake tests. Why invest in someone who doesn't want real interest? Sometimes silence speaks louder than words.
What happened to men pursuing girls? When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore or put in any effort? It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to. Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal where they expect girls to be making the first moves, yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort anymore or don't care to put in effort. And a relationship won't work unless the guy likes the girl just a tiny little bit more. He has to like her just the tiniest bit more for it to work in the long haul. So it would make sense if a guy really wanted to get to know you, that he would go leaps and bounds to get to know you. And when did that shift? Because back in my mom's era, if a guy wanted to take you out on a date, he had to go up to you, he had to get your number, he had to go through lengths to try to talk to you, even if you weren't interested at first. How my parents met? They met at a bar, and my dad asked for my mom to dance, and my mom was like, get out of here. She wanted nothing to do with him. If he had just left and listened to her, they would have never gotten married, they would have never had kids. But he was persistent. He wanted to take her out on a date so badly. He was like, what do I have to do to take you out on a date? She was working late their first date, so he went to her work, picked her up, prepped a dinner, took her to a park, just planned the whole thing. He wrote her poetry. He was yearning. How my aunt and my uncle met. My aunt was a dancer on a cruise ship, and he was the photographer. And he was persistent. She overheard him one night saying to his buddy, he was like, I'm gonna marry that girl. He had just met her. And now they're married, and they have 2 kids together. I don't hear anything like that now. Now we're praising eye contact. Now we're praising if a guy held a door open to us and smiled. That is what we're praising. It feels so backwards. I just wonder when it shifted, because I feel like that is the whole downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone now, because men just don't care anymore.
Women told us to stop chasing, so we did. Strong, independent women, enjoy your freedom, but don't be surprised when no one approaches anymore. Men aren't risking their time or effort just to get rejected for being nice.
Where are all the good men at? They're everywhere. But you told them to stop approaching, so they did. Now, they're not approaching you, and you're confused as to why, because you told them to. And now, you're asking, well, why aren't men approaching? Because you said not to approach. They're doing what you said. Last I checked, most of the time, men do what they say they're gonna do, and, if a woman says, please don't approach me, they won't approach. And when men are straightforward, men are very straightforward, most of them. Like I said, I'm not generalizing all of them, but most men are very straightforward. So if you say don't approach me, it doesn't mean yes, please approach me, but don't, because that makes no fucking sense. Men are not mind readers. So if you want a man to approach you, maybe you should approach him first, because your buying signals aren't making any sense. Unless we start dropping handkerchiefs like we used to back in the day.
So there's a stat on Facebook, and basically it says men are not obsessed with women like they used to be. Y'all don't find that kind of weird? And to be honest, no, I don't find that kind of weird, because what exactly is there for men to be obsessed with in today's world? Women have left no room for imagination, none whatsoever. It's like y'all sense of entitlement is out of control. Y'all expectations are unrealistic. Y'all walk around showing y'all bodies half dressed, half exposed 24/7, out smoking, drinking, partying 24/7, on the scene 24/7. A lot of y'all are not even coming with nothing to the table because you're too busy with your hand out trying to see what man got the next bag so he can sponsor your lifestyle to make you look like you're living a lifestyle to post on the internet. It's like a lot of y'all don't have common sense. A lot of y'all don't know how to hold a conversation. A lot of y'all don't have no originality about yourselves. Everybody is getting the same body. Everybody is getting the same hairstyle. Everybody looks the exact same. And it's like y'all get that confused. Oh, well, men like that. No, men will fuck that. But men are not wiping that and they're not cuffing that. And I think y'all are starting to realize that. And then the first thing y'all want to say is, oh, well, they're gay, they're sassy. No, they're not. They're just tired of what you guys are presenting. And if y'all are here to give them free pussy, free looks, and free everything they ain't got to work for, why would they? But they're never going to take you serious. So it seems to me like a lot of y'all are now starting to realize that you're either losing value or have lost value from chasing attention. And now that's something that y'all got to deal with, and y'all can't face that fact. Men love women that are exclusive, women that are put up, women that every man can't say he had or can have. Simple as that.